Unprecedented changes in the planet's climate are making extreme weather events such as heat waves, floods and earthquakes more frequent and intense. September 2023 became the warmest month in the history of recordings. It's worth noting that Earth experienced its hottest 3 months this summer. The trend of temperature records continued in the first week of October. Temperature records. An abnormal heat wave brought by the African anticyclone dominated almost the entire territory of Europe. Out-of-season high temperatures and new records were recorded by weather stations in many countries. Thus, October 3rd in Austria and Poland became the warmest October day in the history of meteorological observations. In France, in the commune of Navarenx, the temperature jumped to plus 35.8 degrees Celsius, breaking the previous absolute record. Abnormal weather also hit Spain. As in other European countries, October 3rd in some regions of the country became the hottest since at least 1950. Records were set on the island of Tenerife, in the Andalusia region and the provinces of Albacete and Orvilla. Several heat records were also broken in Italy. Temperatures were 8 to 10 degrees Celsius above average. The regions of South America continue to suffer from abnormal temperatures. In Brazil, fish and dolphins are dying due to the heat and drought in the Amazon. The water level in the river and its tributaries has reached historically low values. And in some places the temperature has risen to a record high of plus 39 degrees Celsius, which is more than 10 degrees above average for this time of year. Shoaling and rising water temperatures have led to massive fish and dolphin mortality in Lake Tefé. Pink and white dolphins, or takushi, which are among the few freshwater dolphins in the world, are endangered. The Amazon River is the largest river on Earth in terms of length, basin area, and water volume. It flows through the countries of South America and affects the life of adjacent regions. Declining water levels create obstacles to navigation. Local people, who depend heavily on fishing for their livelihoods, are in a critical situation. A total of 59 out of 62 municipalities in the state of Amazonas are on alert due to the drop in river levels. The drought has already affected about 80,000 people this year. Unfortunately, experts are predicting that even more severe drought conditions are expected in the next few weeks, and this is despite the fact that it is only springtime in the country. Floods. Now let's take a look at the situation with floods. In early October, the mountainous Indian state of Sikkim received an unusually high amount of rainfall. Heavy rains in the area of a glacial lake in the Himalayas led to the erosion of a 60-meter dam and the destruction of the largest hydropower facility in the country. On October 4th, the area became the site of an unprecedented disaster. The water level of the Teesta River rose sharply by 5 to 6 meters, flooding many areas downstream. 15 bridges were washed away and roads were destroyed. Locals and many tourists in the northern part of the state were cut off from the rest of the country. As of October 6, over 50 casualties have been reported and over 100 people are missing. The flooding has also spread to neighboring Bangladesh, where hundreds of villages along the river have been affected. In addition to this tragedy, other disasters related to abnormal precipitation occurred around the world during the first week of October 2023. On October 2nd and 3, extensive floods occurred in Dominica and Guadeloupe. A double monthly rainfall has fallen here due to the passage of Tropical Storm Philippe in the Caribbean Sea. At the same time, heavy rains wreaked havoc in southwestern Guatemala. As a result, more than 2,000 people were affected. On October 3rd, strong storms brought giant hail and abnormal lightning to Uruguay and southern Brazil. According to GOES 16 satellite data, 142,852 lightning strikes were recorded in the province of Rio Grande do Sul. It is estimated that more than 200 families were affected and numerous buildings were damaged. Along with these events, in the neighboring state of Santa Catarina, heavy rain affected at least 60 municipalities and caused 1 casualty. A state of emergency was declared in 17 cities. From October 3rd to 6, several areas of the state received more than half of the monthly average rainfall. On October 3rd, city streets and lower floors of buildings were flooded after heavy rains in western Georgia. Landslides occurred in some areas. And in central Thailand, floodwaters submerged more than 4,000 homes that day, affecting about 5,000 people. Typhoon Koinu hit southern Taiwan on October 4th, breaking wind speed records. Its gusts reached 213 miles per hour. The disaster felled trees and damaged houses, injured more than 300 people and claimed 1 life. On the night of October 5th, a wave of heavy rains hit the north of Egypt. The epicenter of the disaster was the city of Mersa Matruh. The rains turned large parts of the city into streams, causing a transportation collapse. The same afternoon in Lebanon, rains flooded the streets of the capital city of Beirut. On October 6th, Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk, Russia, declared a state of emergency due to the rainfall caused by a cyclone. The regional center received almost a month's worth of precipitation. More than 100 houses were flooded. And in Malaysia, flash floods have affected a number of neighborhoods in the capital, Kuala Lumpur. Earthquakes. The first week of October was also marked by numerous powerful earthquakes in different parts of the world. Thus, on October 2nd, a strong earthquake of magnitude 4 was recorded in the volcanic region of the Campi Flegrei in Italy. It was clearly felt by residents of Naples. Only in the last month more than 1,100 earthquakes have already occurred here, including a magnitude 4.2 earthquake dated September 27th. In this regard, the Italian government began to discuss measures on possible mass evacuation of tens of thousands of people living in the area of the Campi Flegrei caldera. These events strongly suggest that the supervolcano is awakening, and soon there may be major problems not only for Italians, but also for all citizens of densely populated Europe. Now let's move to India and Central Asia, where on October 2nd and 3 a series of powerful tremors occurred in the Pamir Himalayan mountain region. Nepal has been hit by a series of earthquakes. The strongest of them was magnitude 6.2. As a result, houses were destroyed and 17 people were injured. The reverberations of this earthquake reached the capital of India as well. On October 3rd, a powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 6.3 occurred in the Pacific Ocean, south of Japan's Izu archipelago. The next day, a strong magnitude 6.4 earthquake struck off the coast of Mindanao, Philippines. On October 5th, a second earthquake with a magnitude of 6.6 occurred near the Japanese Izu archipelago. A tsunami alert was issued due to the risk of a tsunami. On October 7th, powerful tremors of magnitude 6.7 were felt in Papua New Guinea. On the same day, a seismic event with a magnitude of 6.3, according to other data, 5.9, was recorded in the Mexican state of Oaxaca, located in the southern part of the country. The weekly cycle of seismic activity was completed by a catastrophe in the northwest of Afghanistan, where a powerful series of earthquakes occurred on October 7th. The magnitude of the strongest shock amounted to 6.3. As a consequence, most of Herat, which is the third largest city in the country and the center of the province of the same name, now lies in ruins. As of October 8, the death toll exceeded 2,500 people. This figure is set to rise, as it is estimated that some 50,000 residents were trapped under the rubble. This is one of the deadliest earthquakes to hit the country in the last 2 decades. But the bitter irony of the consumerist format of society is that because of the escalating military conflict in the Middle East, which coincided with the timing, the world barely noticed this tragedy. Only a few days, and so many earthquakes with a magnitude above 6, even though a few years ago earthquakes of such magnitude were extremely rare. And this is an undeniable fact. This fact makes us think about a lot of things. We are faced with the fact that we cannot see the real picture of seismic activity. Where can we accurately find out about the number of underground tremors? Comparison of information from open sources shows a lot of discrepancies in the data of different seismic bases. For example, the US Geological Survey, USGS, gives for September 2023 119 earthquakes with a magnitude greater than 5. And the website of the monitoring service volcanodiscovery.com with the head office in Germany, only 90. Very often before our eyes the magnitudes of earthquake events are corrected, the initial figure is subsequently reduced, referring to the alleged refinement of data. They stop including earthquakes with magnitudes below 4 in catalogues. In Spain in September there were numerous earthquakes of small magnitudes, but they are not included in all seismic databases. If we compare the total energy of earthquakes around the world in September 2022 and 2023, based on the same open sources, it becomes clear that it is increasing. Low-magnitude earthquakes generate the lion's share of this energy. And more, they most vividly reflect the growing rise of magma from the bowels of the Earth, which threatens to turn our entire planet into an seismically hazardous uninhabitable zone. This warning was voiced at the end of 2022 at the online forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity. In an era of global cataclysms due to the 12,000-year cycle, any misinformation can have catastrophic consequences for all of us. We are human beings, we do not want to perish in the avalanche of cataclysms. We have the right to know the truth and take the chance to stay alive.